Welcome to Rebel Steps. I'm Amy, the producer of Rebel Steps, coming to you with a brief message. Amid the flurry of news, it feels impossible to know what to do. We can doom scroll, we can listen to all the hot takes, but none of this seems to answer the question, what can we do now? If right now you're confused about what to do next, you're not alone. As always, this podcast is dedicated to taking action. So here is a few of our thoughts on what to do as we watch Trump's coup attempt unspool. As we navigate this moment, remember that there have been years of struggle before this moment, and there will be years of struggle to come. Instead of looking for that big action you can take right now, think about how you can join the struggle for the long term. That might mean joining a tenants union, getting involved in local mutual aid groups, or working towards prison abolition. We have episodes on all those topics if you're looking for ways to get involved. If you have a place in the movement, as many of us do, now might be a good time to reach out to your friends and get them involved. People are looking for answers right now. Send them this podcast, ask them what they think, and talk to them about what's happening. And it's also a good time to prepare your organization for an influx of people. Maybe plan to have onboardings and projects ready for people to jump in and help with. Also, leftists do have an actual vision of hope to offer people, and now is the time to share that. If you feel unprepared for emergencies of any stripe, now is a good time to get things in order, in case the worst-case scenarios come to fruition. Having a 3-month supply of medication you need is always a good idea, having a passport, storing 3 months of non-perishable food. If you're looking for more prepping advice, check out the podcast, Live Like the World is Dying. I know that finding a long-term commitment, welcoming new people, and doing some prepping might not feel glamorous, but the way to push back on rising fascism is long-term struggle, doing the work day in and day out. We believe that building dual power by working towards building alternative institutions is the only way out of this mess, so we encourage you to find your place in that everyday work. Unfortunately, this attempt at the Capitol was just the first chapter, and we can look to history and see similar incidences leading to devastating second and third chapters. The beer hall putsch brought much attention to Hitler and Nazis. 10 years later, they established the Third Reich. The Spanish Civil War started when fascists refused to accept the elected government, and that led to almost 40 years of a fascist dictatorship under Franco. And coups aside, we are living in an era of constant crisis. From economic nosedives to the pandemic, to continuous wars overseas, to the coming climate collapse. So if you've been looking for a time to plug in, that time is now. I know it feels big and overwhelming, and that's why we need you. No one person can stop this. We have to do it together. It's never too late to find your place in the movement. Lastly, our friends at CrimethInc are calling for anti-ICE demonstrations around the U.S. on January 20th. We encourage everyone to find an anti-ICE demo happening in your area and voice your dissent on January 20th. Head to crimethinc.com to learn more. Thanks for listening to this episode. Look out for a longer episode on onboarding coming out next month. Believe in yourself, trust one another, and get organized.